What's up, y'all? As you can see, Carl has retired for the night. That thing was so hot to wear. But I was committed to wearing it up until the point where I could get a picture with Kara. Which I was able to do. She loved the fit. That was the cool part about it. Okay, so let me recap this. I told y'all I've been in City Winery for a challenge event. This is my fourth one, I believe. I'm gonna forget again. Number one, I think, was for All Stars Season 2. Number 2 was for when CT came last year. Number 3. Was there a third one before today? You know what? There was another one. I just cannot think of it. No, I think it might have been 3. I think it might have been. I think All Stars 2 was my first time at City Winery. Yeah. I think All Stars 2 was my first time at City Winery. The CT event at City Winery was my second time there, and this Cara Maria event was my third time there. Now, how do all three compare? Well, of course, y'all know. I'm going to let you know how I compare all of them in order of best to worst. I think literally best to worst might be the order that I saw them in. All Stars 2 event being the best, this one being the worst. And I'm going to give you the reasons as to why I'm ranking it that way. No shade to Challenge Mania and no shade to the guests. I loved the guests. I love all the guests. I love the challenge. It's my favorite reality show. But just here's my perspective as a fan and the reason why I'm ranking it such a way. Hi, Cortez. This is the reason why I'm ranking it such a way. All Stars 2 had people from the challenge that were, if you watched All Stars 2 or if you watched the challenge All Stars franchise in general, they had people who were, you like those people, but at the same time, there were people who were on the challenge in the early 2000s who were now some of them in their 40s and 50s and coming back. Let me see. Bye. Okay. Hi, Ethan. Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that those people were a little bit less popular. They were less on the popular side. So, therefore, the lines to see them were not crazy long. The lines were all kind of even to see each person. And you were able to stand in each line for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes at the most. And you were able to see everybody. So that part of it was something that made it a little bit more enjoyable. Appreciate that you like a chill stream, and I'm one of them. Now, when it came down to the CT event, it was complete chaos and mayhem. So after they did the stage portion for the CT event, they said, okay, everybody, CT is going to be in the back. So if you want to see CT and you have a VIP ticket, line up and you get to see CT first. And then after we're done with the VIP section, then all the general admission people can stand in the CT line to see CT. I personally stood in line for about almost 3 hours on my feet, standing up just to see CT. Now, when I did get to see CT, I was able to talk to him for 10 to 15 minutes, and my friend was able to talk to him for also like a 10 to 15 minutes. So it felt more worth it because despite the fact that yes, there was an incredibly long line and the people that were in the building were just really nasty and pushy and like, CT's my man, you can't talk to him before me. And then there were these jump the line passes. Oh, what is this guy doing? Like, are you nuts? You look like my gay neighbor. If you're interested in me, just say that. But I'm not interested in you, so bye. We love a short king. How do you know how tall I am from a video of me sitting in my car? That's a little weird, but okay. Anyways, with me and, with others made it feel a little bit more worth it, despite the fact that the ticket was really expensive. Now, in this case, I got a VIP ticket to the event. So I'm thinking, oh, I have VIP access to go meet with Kara first. Then when I get into the back, a guy is standing there with a timer on his phone. It says, everybody has 90 seconds to talk to Kara. I'm like, tickets that cost over $200, and you're going to tell me that my VIP thing that I paid extra for is for 90 seconds to speak to her? 90 seconds? Bruh, I thought that when he said 90 seconds, it was going to be one of those, I'm loosely counting 90 seconds, because they did try to do a timer type of thing. Take a slight right turn, then take the first right onto Sand Street. They did try to do it. Pass this light, then at the next, use the right lane to take a slight right turn onto Concord Street. They did try to do a timer type of thing at the CT event, but when I got up to him, they weren't like, your 90 seconds are up, you got 90 seconds. It was like, can you please speed it along? They were standing there like, can you please move it along? But it wasn't like, we're gonna strictly cut you off at 90 seconds, because that was wild for me. Hi, Connie. Hi, Charlena. Hi, Scott. Oh, I forgot to get you out of here. Bang. Let's go to your stream and you can do that. How about that? Give us a link to your... Oh, yeah, you can't give us a link because you're blocked. Anyways. So that part of it put a damper on my night just a little bit. The stage show was fun. I got to stand up and ask a question, which I am going to end up posting soon, so that you guys can see the question that I asked. The cast, all the cast and the crowd loved the fit, and I was really happy with that, because y'all know I put a lot of effort into creating the fits, and this fit was actually not something that I thought of way in advance. It was something that I literally just did. Use the left lane to turn right onto Sand Street, then take a slight right turn to merge onto yesterday. Today, actually, I put that whole thing together today. So, and Cara herself loved it. I'm gonna find out. She was like, "Did you make that? Like, that's lit." And I was like, "Yep." So I'm gonna reach out and be like, if you want one like that, I will make another one, and if you got a PO box, I'll send it to you. Now, this is hopefully gonna help me for when I request my interview with her, because like I said, thanks to a donation from Ashley, which is not the full cost of what it costs to book her for an interview. But honestly, I did this another time. When somebody invests in me, even if it's a small amount, a big amount, it doesn't matter. When somebody invests in me and says, this is because I believe in you and I want you to succeed at something that you want to do, I'll come up with the rest. It almost reminded me of when my grandmother wanted me to take driving lessons because she was like, you're too old to not be driving at this point. And so she said, I'm going to send you $250. And she said, I don't know how much driving lessons cost, but you come up with the rest. And because she had invested the $250 in me, I came up with the rest of the money, paid for the driving lessons, and that's how I ended up learning to drive. So, like I said, I was on the fence about paying Cara to do an interview with me, but because of this investment that one of my favorite subscribers gave me, I'm going to commit to doing that. I don't know if it's going to be immediately, or I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know what her availability is, but I'll ask her before I even book it. And then your boy is going to go into research mode, because if there's one thing that I find really hard, it's interviewing people from shows where they have done lots of seasons, and she is one of those people. Like, my research that I did for Wes was one of my hardest, but I had almost wished that I didn't do so much research for Wes, because I had so many questions for him, and his answers for each question were so long, and he took so many twists and turns that I couldn't even ask him 25% of what I had prepared for him. So I believe if and when I do end up interviewing Cara, it's going to be something where I might have a few questions about her early life on the challenge, but then I'm going to jump into the more recent relevant stuff. That's what I'm going to do. Shout out to Danny. I learned that from Danny, because Danny was one of the first people. I never showed Danny my questions for any of these interviews that I did, but she said she always was someone who gave me feedback on my interviews. And she told me, like, Mark, I've noticed that it seems like with your interviews they get cut short, where it seems like you're trying to say more, but you're not able to get it out. And I was like, wow, I'm surprised. My biggest problem with these interviews is the fact that I'm trying to ask all these questions that I take all this time to prepare, but it seems like I'm not able to get the questions out, because sometimes their answers are all over the place, and sometimes that does not afford me the opportunity. Not just that they're all over the place, but the length of time they take for each individual question sometimes does not allow for me to be able to ask all the questions that I want or need. So she was the one who gave me the idea of front loading the questions. So what I mean by front loading the questions is asking taking all the questions that you want to ask and just brainstorming, write them all down. If you have 100 questions for somebody, write them all down. Then take a look at those 100 questions that you wrote and say, if I could only pick, let's say, 10 questions out of these 100 that I could for sure ask this person, that I for sure want answered by this person, then You prioritize those 10 and ask those 10 questions first. Then, if there's like 10 questions that are medium temperature questions that are like, I do want these answered after those burning questions is what she called them, then we go to the next 10 like medium level questions. And then after that, you've gotten in your 20 questions. And if you have another 80, I'm just picking random numbers, but if you have another 80 questions, you can ask as time permits. Like if you have an hour, let's say, with the person, you maybe those 20 questions take you the whole hour, but if you happen to get through them really fast and you have extra time, consider the extra questions that you have as bonus questions. That's essentially what I did today when I had the chance to ask Kara a question, because I had a question for Kara, I had a question for Jay, and I had a question for Derek. So I said, in the event that they do not let me ask my questions to Jay or Derek, and I was like, if I only get a chance to ask one question, it would be a waste of a question for me not to ask Kara the question. So I asked Kara the question. I asked Kara, like, hey, hypothetically speaking, if someone gave you 3 stars, which I gave her 3 stars, those 3 stars, I was like, someone gave you 3 stars to run that final against Laurel in All Stars 4, like if it was on an even playing field, who do you think would have won? To tell you the truth, I don't even remember her answer. I didn't even hear her answer, I'll be completely honest. But I asked somebody to record it, and I have not gotten a chance to look at it yet. So I'm sure that I'll look back at it and I'll be happy about the fact that I got to ask my question. But I don't know what it was. Challenge Mania events, especially ones that are at big venues and they're packed full like that, so many people, it's overwhelming and overstimulating for me. So my brain was working in overdrive. I thrive in smaller settings with less people. I really do. So the fact that it was rushed, the fact that it was a big venue, the fact that they had me stand on stage to ask my question, all of those factors were scrambled my brain a little bit, both when I asked the question and also when I spoke to Kara in the back. But I got out some words, and I'll get a chance to look at those words later on my videos, and hopefully I came up with something that sounded semi-intelligent. But from the parts that I did take a glance at, what I was really looking at was Kara's facial expression, and she loved the fact that she told me something like, you did that, like you were definitely Carled out, something to that effect. Whatever she said, something about the Carl thing. And then she took a video of me. I'm sure she's gonna put the video on her Instagram, which is cool. She did that last time, which is really cool. But the last one, I'm telling you, $40 I think the ticket was for that fibroid event. And it was because it wasn't a challenge event, I wasn't competing to talk to Kara. I was just able to just walk right up to her and talk to her for an indefinite amount of time. I spoke to her for a while in the venue. Then we went and got our food, and I went back and I spoke to her some more while we were eating. And then at the end, her and Polly said bye. So smaller, more intimate settings is the way to go. But all in all, I did what I do. That's the part that I'm happy with. I told you guys I do what I do regardless of what's happening, regardless of how much I like it or don't like it. I always pull off what I like to pull off. And the main thing is like, Cara was like, this is so cool and creative. I wish I had one. And like I said, I'm going to reach out and be like, if you got a P.O. box for me to send one, I'll make another one. I made this whole thing. The whole get up, right? The pants that have the stars on them. The sweater that I have that says, what does it say? Stargate. Because that's something she said. She said it to Rachel when her and Rachel got the first couple of stars on All Stars 4. She's like, we're Stargates. So the Stargate shirt that I had made cost me about $23 between buying the sweater and getting the print on it. So I was like $23. The wig was a reused wig from when Big Brother had that disco party. And I think the wig was on sale at that time for like $6, Party City. So far we're talking about 15 for the pants, 23 for the top. That's 38. The wig makes it 44. Let's see, 44. The bandana was like $5, so like $49. And then what else? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. $49. The sweater, the pants, the aviator glasses were about $6. So let's say for $55, I made a custom made outfit, top to bottom. I'm not going to count the wig because I already had it. So let's say for $50, I created a whole customized outfit, top to bottom, to wear to an event, and it stood out. At the end, I don't know if you guys saw my live at the end, but people were like, Caro, put the wig on. I thought that was funny. I thought it was funny that after I took it off, people still recognized that I had put it on. Like, to me, it's the ultimate compliment. And the thing is, I didn't think that it was a hit, because when I first walked in there, people were looking at me, but they weren't. I think they just thought, oh, he just likes wearing wigs. I think that's what they were thinking. And then when I sat down at the table, somebody was like, are you supposed to be Carl? I was like, thank you so much for actually recognizing that I'm supposed to be Carl, because I did not just put on this hot like wig that is burning up my head for kicks and giggles. I'm sure you agree. She really seemed to like you and connected with you. The bit about Paulie not being... Oh, you know what? When I was recording that live, I honestly don't even remember. I know that I turned on my live video a few times to try to give you guys a glimpse into what Challenge Mania looks like. And Scott definitely was like, we have the second best Paul in the building. And he said, we got the second best brother, Cody Calafiore. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but he has a younger brother named Cody. And he was saying he's the second best Paul because Paul from season, I want to say 18 and 19, I think. Yes, because 19 was the Josh season and 18 was the Nicole season. So yes, Paul, he said that Paulie was the second best Paul, and he was the second best Calafiore brother. That part was, the show part of it was actually quite funny. I liked that. It was one of the funnier ones that I've been to, actually. That part of it I did enjoy. But I am there more for the fan interaction than I am for the stage show. much more so. I like the fan interaction part the best, and my fan interaction with most of them was very limited, so I didn't like that. So it is what it is. Very creative, not surprised. She loved getting it, I'm sure. Yeah, it was. So I don't know if that part of it was on my video or you're talking about at the end when they were saying that to me. But earlier on, when they were doing the show, they were telling who were they telling to show them their nipples? They were saying it to somebody, and then Derek did it. Derek was like, I'm a married man, and my wife is gonna get mad at this, but she always does anyways. But here they are, and then he unbuttoned his shirt. But I think they asked somebody else prior to him. I just can't put my finger on who it was. I have to watch all these videos back because I don't. So when I'm there, I guess just as a fan sitting down and watching something, I remember it better than when I'm trying to get content. And I think I've never gotten this much content at one of these city winery events before. I think I've tried before, but this time I was so locked in to getting the content that I missed some stuff, but I do remember that part of it. But then at the end, when they were telling me to put the wig back on, I put it back on. And then they said that to me, and I was like, I'm not part of the show, y'all. They were like, yes, you are. I was like, no, I'm not paid. That's why I'm not part of the show. I'm not showing you nothing. Because I did not get anybody's money to show up there. So that ain't happening. That ain't happening on nobody's stage and on nobody's internet. You gotta pay me. It was on the last video. I thought they were asking you. Yeah, oh yeah. No, when I said it was PG, that you couldn't hear what Derek was saying. That's probably why. Those two things weren't connected. Derek was wilding out to the point where I stopped putting the camera on him because I was like, Derek is saying things that'll get my channel demonetized. Oh boy, Derek was saying some reckless things at the end of this thing. So I was like, let me take the camera off of Derek and put it on me so that Derek is just background noise. So I'm glad that you couldn't actually hear what he was saying. Not that I care. I'm not saying that he's saying anything that I wouldn't say. It's just that YouTube is extremely strict on vulgarity, and he was using a lot of it and a lot of profanity. So I couldn't keep it on him in good faith because I want to keep those videos. I want those videos to have the ability to still be monetized. Now, in terms of, yeah, they were saying it to me. They were like, show us your nipples. It was a joke. It was not a joke, but I mean, it was kind of a joke because that's what they were saying to a couple of the male cast earlier. I want to say the initial person they might have said it to is Polly. Maybe, or maybe it was Mark Long. I can't remember 100%, but there was some cast they asked to do that, and they said no, and then Derek ended up doing it. So then when they were like, Carl, put the wig back on. I put the wig back on. They were like, now show us your nipples, and I was like, no. No, I'm not a part of your show. And then they let it go. Because obviously I'm not a part of their show. So why am I going to do that? I know they were messing around. They were not messing around. That's the funny part. That group there was definitely not messing around. I missed the previous request, just yours. It was funny. And then I was thinking of, I stayed there for an extra hour. That was part of the extra hour that I stayed there because I was really gonna leave an hour before because I already saw everybody in there by then. The only reason I even stayed was because I was hoping that everyone would get through that Kara line so that those things that I said that I was gonna say to her, I could get the chance to say to her in person at the end, because getting in touch with these people in person is way better and easier. But I do have a way to communicate with Kara online. So right now, tonight, is before I go to bed, I'm going to reach out to her. I'm gonna tell her all the things that I need to say, and then hopefully, within a certain amount of time, she's able to get back to me. And possibly by that time, I will have also booked, what's it called? I would have earned a little bit of extra money to be able to pay for the rest of the money that I need to raise for the interview of her. And then, yeah, we go from there. Next up, though, I have my holiday party, my all staff, like the whole staff for my job, holiday party on the 4th, which I have my outfit like 75% put together. Actually, it's not even 75%. I bought that sweater that I wanted, and I have to figure out what things to combine it with. And I'm still deciding between whether to put it teal jacket and my brown pants, or like, I don't want to wear one of my black jackets, but I have like a brown jacket. I'm back and forth between the brown and the teal. I'm back and forth because I was actually looking on like Pinterest for ideas about holiday outfits, and I saw both brown and I saw like green, I saw red. All of those looked good in their own way, but I don't have a red sports coat. I have or a blazer, whatever you want to call it. I have a teal one, I have a couple of brown ones, I have a black one. I'm not gonna do the black one because I think that I wear black for almost everything, so I wanna use more colors. I want to have more colors, a more colorful outfit, especially for the holidays. That's what I usually do at Christmas parties. The last Christmas party I got a chance to attend was 5 years ago, before the pandemic. And for that one, I wore these like green plaid pants, and I wore a teal jacket, and I wore a red tie. I wore a red pocket flower. I wore a red lapel pin, and a red handkerchief. Now, I don't know where any of that stuff is. That's why I say my outfit is 75% done, because I have the jackets. I have the jacket, I have the sweater I want, I have the tie I want, I have the shirt that I want. But I always like to finish my suit with a lapel pin, and also with a, what's it called? A handkerchief. I think I might be able to find my handkerchief, but I don't know where my lapel pins are, because I had several of them. And then I have an ugly sweater party on Friday, so it's like, my social battery, my social battery is almost at zero as it is, and I have to take it from almost zero and take it into the negatives this week, but I'll be alright. The good thing about all those things getting taken care of in the first week of December is that I'm gonna have a minimum of 11 of the 11th. Okay, so one is on the 4th and one is on the 6th. The next thing that I have is not until the 21st, so I'm gonna have about a little over 2 weeks. I'm gonna have a little over 2 weeks to recharge after that. So it's just like commit myself to, going to those things. And but the other good thing is, at this event, part of what drains me is having to spend an event actually. It's not just putting an outfit together. It's like, when I go there, my goal is to interact with the cast and get footage from those interactions. So it's like a job. It's not like the way that a fan can just enjoy going and, oh, I'm just here to have a good time type of thing. My good time is a fraction of it, but my footage is another part of it. So I'm gonna have less responsibility. I'm gonna have no responsibility at either of those two Christmas parties. My only stressor is just putting the fit together, and actually putting this outfit together was probably, quite frankly, the easiest part of this whole night, because that's what I do. I always tell y'all, I don't get to flex my creative muscles at all at my place of employment. They don't require it, they don't want it, they don't need it. So I'm just there doing useless stuff and having people tell me I suck at it. So when I get a chance to actually spend time putting some, I feel in my, and I felt that compliment that she gave me was a really cool compliment, because she was just like, you made this entire outfit top to bottom. Like, you created the shirt, and you made the, like, you created the, what else did I make? Oh yeah, she's like, you created the shirt, you got the stars put on the pants, and like whatever. And I was like, yeah, that was regular to me. I really thought of the shirt. I didn't go into the mall and say, this is what I'm gonna do with this shirt. I didn't even know what shirt I was gonna use and where I was gonna get it from. So I went into this store that we have called Primark. I was like, I just want a cheap sweater that has a good material. I actually was looking for the zip up, but the zip ups that they had were not in my size. A zip up hoodie, because I like zip up hoodies, but they didn't have one in my size. So I was like, okay, what is plan B here? So plan B, I found this, regular sweater that wasn't a zip up or a hoodie, and I was like, I could probably use this. And then I was like, what am I gonna put on the shirt? I said, should I put 3 stars, like the 3 stars that I put on the pants, or should I put like Star Maria, or should I put all stars with stars under it? I just knew I wanted some kind of star on the shirt, right? So I was like, you know what? I remember when she said, me and Rachel are Stargates. So I was like, it would be cool to put the word Stargate, but to make the A a star instead of an A. So I decided on, making the letters. The rest of the letters were white letters, and then as you can see, the star is gold, and I thought of that in 30 seconds. I mean, if you follow my page for any amount of time, you know that I do the same thing when I do races. I don't race unless it's a race that I just didn't have time to plan something out. If I had at least a little bit of time to plan something, I always go to the store. Like, I always create a logo or some kind of saying, slogan, whatever. I pick the colors, I pick out the colors, and I pick out the materials, whatever, and I put it together. I pick the headband, I match everything. I only realized I liked doing that, honestly, in the last 4 to 5 years, because before I did not care. Like, none of my stuff matched. I didn't customize anything. I just, one day I was like, I feel like one day I was just in a store because I had to pick something out. You know what it was? My friend had this wedding in Miami, and it was a destination wedding. So then I was like, I don't just want to go to Miami in my regular stuff that I wear. So I went into the store. I went into like a men's clothing store, and I asked the person who was working there, I was like, I'm going to go to this party in this wedding in Miami, and I want something that is like a cool look for Miami. So she was like, oh, okay, so what kind of style are you going for? Are you gonna be like regular? We got these white suits, we got these tan ones, we got these navy blue ones. Are you trying to be bold? If you're trying to be bold, I have this this teal suit. And she said, look at the inside, it's got flowers on the inside. We got the full suit if you want, and then we got these socks. You could wear this lapel with it, this. And I was like, I like this. So I tried it on, and when I put it on and I went to the wedding, I got so many compliments on that outfit. And just from there, anytime I had a function, an event, whatever to go to, even one that I didn't really have to go and pick something out, I was like, this is the fun part of it for me, is to just go into the store, figure out what I want to wear. Like, when I picked out that white sweater, if y'all saw my Burlington Coat Factory video, the white sweater was not just me randomly buying a white sweater. It was that I have a tie already. It's like a plaid tie that is I think red, green, and black or something like that. I don't remember if it has some white on it. I know it has some red and green and another color or two, and it's like a green and red plaid tie that's to go under the sweater. And I'm just deciding on the jacket, which in my mind right now, color scheme wise, I'm thinking of my brown blazer. I'm thinking of my brown blazer and possibly either my brown pants or a pair of my black pants. Ideally, I would ideally get a pair of red pants, but money wise, sometimes I have to do the economy thing, and this is one of those times. I don't have the money. If I had the money, I'd probably go out to the store and find myself a new pair of pants. But I have enough pants that I can use that I already have in my house and in my closet. It'll be fun for you to go through your footage. It will, because I'll get a better view of what was happening, because I was not really fully focused on what was happening. It's the same thing for me, because I do videography work, and like, let's say that I'm I'm recording a wedding or some kind of function or something, my only goal is that I can make sure that whatever is happening is happening in front of my camera, so the people who paid me to see it are able to see it. That's my only focus. So it's the same thing when I was getting my coverage for this. I was like, when I actually got there, I was like, my main purpose is not even really a big focus on what they're saying. It's more of like, I want to make sure that I capture what they're saying. And even before I got up there to ask my question, I was so glad that before I went up to ask my question, I said to somebody who was sitting on my table, can you please take my camera and record this? Because had I not asked that person to do that, nobody would have recorded it because I didn't have anyone there. Sometimes I have people there with me, but this time I did not have anybody there. So that guy, I'm not going to say that it was the best it was the best taken video in the world, but the other alternative was me having no video. So it was the best that I could have done in that moment. Oh, the time keeps moving and I keep moving. Life, that's life. The next thing that might be coming up is Tori Dio has an event that she just posted about. If y'all know Tori Dio, I was at one of Tori Dio's events already, but I might go to this one. They have a Survivor event, but the price went up on those Survivor events. It's like $60-something. Hemba fan, I think you were here before, weren't you, Hemba fan? Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you coming back.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Appreciate you coming back. 5:10 a.m. Oh, from Nigeria. Yes. What's up, Nigeria? Did you see the message the comment I responded to about Babcock College? That's where my dad went.
What do you do this?
What are those? Oh, those are what you put over there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was something that you make at home or something. Thank you. Yeah, so it's good. I think today was a success. I think that this is you can't see it. The wig is wigging. The wig is put to bed. The wig is retired, but it's not out forever. But the thing is, I don't see any reason for me to wear that wig anytime soon until the next, like, if I have another 70s party or disco party, I'd probably put it on again for that. But aside from that, it just happened to so work out. Because I'm telling y'all, what happened with this wig, right? I bought the wig because Azza had a premiere party for Big Brother. and it was a disco themed premiere party, and I was like, I don't have any disco themed anything, so what am I supposed to do with about that? So I asked on my page what I should do, and they were like, oh, just run over to Party City. Party City has stuff, and it's discounted right now because it's right before Halloween, so you're gonna be able to get some stuff cheap from Party City. So I was like, all right. I went to Party City. I found a wig. I found like this necklace that had the peace sign on it, and I was gonna get a shirt, but then somebody said you could wear one of your dad's dashikis, and that would serve the purpose of the shirt. So I did that. I wore the wig, and I wore the dashiki, and I wore the peace sign thing, and I was gonna return the wig, honestly, but I was like, you know what? It's a possibility that at some point in time I might need this wig again, but I didn't know what I would need the wig for. But I just held on to it. Then, when this thing was coming up, I was like, I don't know what to do because I like coming to these events with something. So I was like, I already gave her the stars. I could make something for her. I was thinking like I could create a poster or I could create a picture. Like that's what I've done for some other people. I create a picture, laminate it, give it to them, this and that. But I was like, you know what? I don't have the time and I don't have the resources at this point in time. So what could I do that would be something that she would like, that will not cost me an arm and a leg, and something that is I can use my creativity in the place of time and money is essentially what I'm trying to say, because I can be long-winded, um, which is probably why I like Wes, because he's also long-winded. But anyways, I was like, you know what? I just watched that episode the other day where Kara put on the wig and became Carl Maria. So I said to myself, all right, I can become Carl Maria. And it's going to be easier than it was for her to become Carl Maria, because she's going from Kara to Carl. I'm going from Mark to Carl. So I'm not creating a man. I'm already a man. I can just throw that wig on. I said, let me just see if I could get a bandana to put around it, because she put the bandana around it. That's part of her style. And the aviator glasses, I got some cheap aviators. And let's see, the shirt part of it was not a part of Carl. The shirt part was already something that I was gonna do anyways. The shirt and the pants, because if you guys remember when she made that cameo, she said, let's keep this going, Mark. Next time I see you, wear something with a star on it. And I was like, I'm not just gonna put a star, because I actually thought about that. I was like, maybe I should just get a shirt and put like a star on it. That was literally what I was planning to do initially. I was like, I'm gonna just get a t-shirt and place a star on it. And I was like, Mark, you don't know how to do things in that way. Like, you are a go big or go home type of guy. So get your brain together and figure out how to go big. Take it from there. Definitely it's a huge success when they are chanting your name at the end and asking you to show your nipples. That's a winner. I'm sure there's tons more uses you can use the wig for. Maybe, but truthfully, I just don't go out a lot, so that's the reason why I'm sure that this thing would probably only come up once a year, if that. If I was at another Halloween party, I could probably throw it on for Halloween party, but I don't really go much to theme parties. I don't really have too many places, which probably is what makes me so creative when I go to these things, is because I'm like, I got nothing but time and resources, and I don't use any of my creative muscles for anything in my day to day. So I'm just like, you know what? This is exciting, getting a chance to like figure something out. And what's the most exciting to me is when it hits. When I do it, it's not just a matter of me doing it and it's like, oh, great, I put something together. What is amazing is when I put it together and the people that I put it together for see it and they find it to be a hit. That makes me so happy. Perfect mix of Carl and the Star connection you both that was perfect. Yeah, rainy day, I guess. I I didn't really, I'll admit, I didn't really work the room with the Carl thing. I did not get any attention about the Carl thing. I mean, I did in terms of just people looking at me and being like, this guy's in a wig. But I mean, in terms of people specifically being like, oh, that's Carl. Nobody recognized that until I said it. And then those people that I was talking to at the end, I was like, thank you, because I was in here for like an hour plus before anybody said, is that supposed to be Carl? And then they were like, yeah, I did see you and I did kind of notice the wig. But until you got on the stage and announced yourself and said, my name is Mark, but for some reason people call me Carl. Then they were like, then we took a really good look at it and said, oh, this is supposed to be mimicking her outfit from the show. And I was like, yes. I wish they had known that earlier, because then I would have played it up earlier. But it is what it is. I mean, when the time came, I got my opportunity to stand on stage and ask my question. They loved it. They all loved it. Even when I was done, the cast, Mark Long, all those people were walking up to me and they were like, Carl, what's up, man? What's up, bro? How you doing, Carl? And I was like, yeah, did it. Now, will I ever be going to another Cara Maria event again? I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to say never, but if they were like, Cara's going to be back in 2 weeks, and especially for a Challenge Mania, I would be like, I'll pass. She's gotten a good amount of my time, my energy, and my money, quite frankly, and that's it for me for a while. But I consider it like a cool reality TV bucket list thing to have gotten a chance to meet her, to get to know her a little bit, and the greeting that she gave me when she saw me, even though I told you about the 90 seconds, the guy with the 90-second timer backstage. Before she got backstage, when she was still on the stage, she came over specifically to say hi to me and tell me she was happy to see me. That felt good. And I knew actually everybody there except for Jay. Jay, I was meeting for the first time, but everyone else there, I had met them at least 2 times or more. So that was pretty cool too. Hi Cass. That makes sense what they said at the end. And that's all I got. I mean, thank you all. You can tell you love the impact. I do. I do love the impact that it has on the other person. You could see that when I gifted Sam that gift that I gave her when I first met her, and she was almost in tears. You could see that when I gave who else did I give stuff to? Anissa. I gave Anissa like a trophy. And Olivia, I gave Olivia one also. Um, there's been a few things that I have done or provided for these casts that they have really appreciated, and I take time into thinking about that specific person. Like everything is customized to that person. This is what I know of Kara. This is what I know Kara likes. This is what I know of this person specifically. I know this one likes this. Or even if I don't give them something, even the conversations that I have with them are not things that are just random that I just come up with on the spot. The question that I asked, if you guys were on my live when I was on my way there, I gave you the question that I was going to ask, if I got a chance to ask a question for the Q&A, and I asked that exact question. So it wasn't like a random thing that just popped into my head at the moment. I thought about it beforehand. Um, but I was rushed, so I didn't get my other two questions, nor did I get to say about my interview that I wanted with her, my thank you for my birthday thing that she gave me, and then the fact that she loved this so much and said, I wish I had one. And I, like, after I walked out of the room because the guy was rushing me out of the room, I was like thinking to myself, I should have told her that I will make one for her and send it to her. Because she would wear it and she would probably post it and she would tag me, and that would all be beneficial to me. And it would make me happy to see somebody just appreciating and wearing my thing that I put together. And it could actually even be a business thing, because she said, I wish I had these. Imagine if she was like, I really like these, can you produce a bunch of them and I can sell them or something. I don't know, my mind just thinks of every possibility, no stone left unturned. Really thoughtful. It's a great character trait, very intentional, extremely. Everybody who actually knows me knows that I'm very intentional about everything. And also, this is a side note. I am about to leave. This is a side note. It's also the reason why I don't often apologize, and it's not because I'm not ever wrong, but I don't know if I can explain this properly. I don't say things that are impulsive. I don't say things that I don't mean, and I don't say things that are just in the moment that I don't think about. So usually when I get to the point of saying something to somebody that they might not like, I've thought about it very carefully and I say what I'm thinking. Now, what I have apologized for is sometimes when I say those things that I'm thinking, depending on where I stand with the person and the mood that I might be in, it might come off harsher than how I planned it to. But in terms of like, oh, I'm sorry, I was upset, so I didn't mean that. I'm not that guy. So, um, most people benefit from my thoughtfulness, but people who try to screw me over, they face the bad side of my intentionality. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that I'm trying to do anything to intentionally hurt them or screw them over or make them feel bad, but it's just that because I'm so intentional, they know that when I say certain things, it's because I really, really mean them. And I realize that that cuts people deeper than somebody who they can rationalize and say, oh, so and so didn't really mean that. They were just saying that because they were upset. No. There used to be a time when that was kind of me, but years and maturity have, I've grown way past that point, and I'm now at a stage where I'm like, if I can't verbalize what I'm trying to say properly, I'm just gonna say nothing until I can. really articulate the thought in a proper way. And then once I've done it, I said it, I said it. That's it. That's true. When you're intentional, you don't, that's the whole thing. I said this to somebody a few weeks ago. I said, there was a stage in my life in my 20s, like particularly in my teens and early 20s, where I had to apologize a lot because someone would say something to me and it would trigger me and I would immediately respond. Blah, 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 whatever I had to say. I wouldn't even think about what they said. I would just respond. Then I would take some time and think and replay the whole thing in my head and be like, you know what? I was wrong. Or what they said was not really, I don't think that was really the way that I took it. And then I would have to go back to them, tail between my legs, and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I misinterpreted that. I spoke too soon. I overreacted and I lost people because of that. I lost friends, I lost jobs. Um, I lost, I don't want to say integrity, but I want to say I lost, it was, it's like some pride that you have to give up to be able to um, go back. Like, I want to be that person who has to keep apologizing for things on myself. And I mean the things that I say. Um, yeah, that's a whole a side story.